Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at Majin Buu Ultimate Gohan, the application of skills and intelligence, the latest unit to come to both global and JP. So he is a power absorption or transformation boost category unit of 170% with an extra 30% for artificial life forms and or uncontrollable power. This is pretty good. It's basically covering all the boos. I think it also covers a lot of the Android 21s. It covers all the cells as well, which is pretty cool. So it's a nice leader skill. I think it's good for the extreme side of things, obviously not so much for the super. In terms of links, Majin, Big Bad Bosses, Metamorphosis, Shocking Speed, Fear and Faith, Wall Standing Tall and Fierce Battle. Very Majin centric link set, very Majin Buu orientated, I think more than fine. Then in terms of passive, this is where things get a little bit crazy, but yeah, basically in terms of passive, he has Ki +2, attack and defense of 200%, guards all attacks, an additional 50% attack, 58% attack and defense when attacking, an additional 100% attack and defense and high chance of performing a crit for 6 turns from the start of battle. He has a high chance of evading enemies' attack and launches an additional attack. There's a great chance of becoming a super starting from the 7th turn from battle. He gets an additional attack and chance of performing a crit of +50%. An extreme class ally has Ki +2, attack and defense of 50%. When there's another power absorption or transformation boost category ally attacking in the same turn. The more HP remaining when the character receives an attack for the first time, the greater the defense boost received within the turn. So this is very interesting. Basically guards all attacks, that's really good. He has high crit chance, which gets replaced with high evasion from the 7th turn, which is great. Has additionals as well added in from then as well. He then has a huge crit chance boost and attack boost and becomes a support if there's another power absorption or transformation boost category ally in the same turn. This is really impressive and honestly makes him look really great. On top of all of that, he gets a huge raw defense boost once he takes his first attack in battle. So although he's only got guard, and although he only technically has defense up until the 7th turn, the way I'm understanding his first hit mechanic, so the way that defense is going to kick in, if your health is high, then basically he is going to be getting a huge defensive boost. Like so much so that his raw defense should skyrocket. And when you consider the fact that he heals so much on the Majin team, it could be very easy to get that full boost. So it looks really good. He has his active skill, which can be activated when all allies attacking in the same turn on power absorption, or starting from the 6th turn from battle, and creates the domain inside Majin Buu and transfers the character's consciousness inwards for 3 turns. In terms of categories, on his power absorption, T-boost, artificial life forms, uncontrollable power, Majin Buu Saga, final trump card, Majin power, sworn enemies, worldwide chaos, and bonic power. And he greatly raises attack and defense 1 turn whilst causing supreme damage to the enemy. His domain gives power absorption or transformation boost category allies a boost, as well as giving Majin Buu category allies a further boost, which is really good. It's actually a great time to introduce this character for the Majin Power team, and he could be the missing link to that really OP Majin Buu flavored team. Once he activates his ability, he becomes Buu Super, the internal version. Here things change a little bit for him, not so much in terms of links, but in terms of passive. Ki +6, attack and defense of 300%, an additional attack of 100% when attacking, and damage reduction of 70%. Changes AGL key spheres to Teq key spheres, and gets an additional defense of 40% when receiving an attack, and the chance of performing a crit +5% per key sphere obtained. He launches an additional super attack with 3 or more key spheres obtained, and launches an additional super attack with 6 or more key spheres obtained. Launches an additional super attack when there is a Fuse Fighters category enemy. Recovers 30% HP at the end of turn. So no more guard from what I see, but 70% damage reduction, which is pretty good. It is technically more valuable than guard, so that is really quite solid. Makes him better defensively. He gets another defensive boost upon getting hit and becomes way more offensively orientated with the scaling crit chance alongside the built-in chance to do 2 additional supers. His special attack massively raises attack, causes immense damage with a high chance of stunning the enemy. Look, I think overall the Buu is really good. I think he's a good defensive unit. I think he's solid when you consider how strong the Buu team is defensively. You have Teq Majin Buu, you have the revives. I think he's going to be good for the physical Buu LR. He's going to be good for the tech Buu. He's going to be good across the board, I think, for connecting a lot of these really good Buu units. And his support will help give that team a little bit more of upliftment than it probably needs right now. Then finally we have Grand Supreme Kai. This is the General Banner Unit, Majin Buu Saga lead of 130%. He has Master of Magic, Core Judgment, All That Meets the Eye, Telekinesis, Godly Power, Supreme Power, and Fierce Battle. In terms of his passive, he has Key +1 up to 4, Attack and Defense +50% up to 200% per Superclass category ally on the team, additional 200% attack and defense when attacking, and additional defense of 100% within the same turn after receiving an attack. High chance of guarding an attack, and then guards all attacks and launches an additional attack that has a high chance of coming of super attack when there's another Majin Buu Saga category ally attacking in the same turn. Majin Buu Saga or Potara category allies get 40% attack and defense, and an additional 20% attack and defense for those who belong to Realm of the Gods. An additional 200% attack and performs a critical hit when there's a Majin Power category enemy. It's a pretty stock standard support unit. I do like that he has guard guaranteed when he is in the same rotation as a Majin Buu Saga category ally. He is a 60% support for Realm of the Gods category allies there that have Potara, which is quite a few. And on top of that, he's a 40% Majin Buu Saga category ally support, which I think is pretty good. Overall, he looks solid, and he's a little boost to the super Majin Buu Saga team, and I actually think they do need a unit like this. I was kind of feeling like they were missing a little bit of a floating support on that super variation of the team, so he does really help out. And he greatly raises attack and defense one turn, and seals supers. So yeah, all looks pretty good. We're going to take a look now at the animations, but yeah, looking pretty good so far. So I think animation wise, how can I say? I think the animations are decent. I don't think they're anything crazy. I think they're solid. I think they're relatively stable. I think they look good with the source material they have. I think, for me, looking at, for example, like Buu, I think Buu's animations are good. They obviously reference the source material pretty well. They're adapted pretty decently. I think it's a cool enough moment from the anime, from the manga, to have like a good unit and animations in that. I do think there's a little bit of a obviously because they're kind of splicing two very separate moments into the characters. So it's kind of that prolonged fight against Vegeta, but I mean it's like him fighting inside himself is quite a ways past where they start with the ghosts and everything. But I think overall they look pretty good, and I think the animations are solid, and if you're a Buu fan, you're not going to mind a little bit of rustiness.